Okay, welcome back. Professor Almeida here with a brief walkthrough of the Ethernet and ARP lab in COSN 10. You're going to find that this lab at first is very similar to what you did for the Wireshark Getting Started lab. And before you jump into the lab, you need to make sure that you have everything set up first, and let me show you. Okay, first and foremost, I'm on my home Linux machine. Okay, you should be able to do this on a Windows machine, on a Mac, or a Linux box. It doesn't really matter. As long as you have Wireshark installed, you have your web browser going, and you have this worksheet in front of you. Okay, quick point on installing Wireshark, especially in Windows, make sure that you install WinPCAP. So when you're going through the installation wizard, make sure that you are installing the additional components that you need. If you need to get Wireshark, just head on over to wireshark.org and then begin that download. Okay, so you see that I have the lab here, and before I jump right into it, I do need to open a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to get Firefox going. Now, I have Firefox in permanent private mode, so I don't really have to worry about clearing caches or doing anything like that. So if something doesn't go right, I can just close this private browsing window and then just be on my way. Okay, so here's Firefox in private mode. And then I'm going to go ahead and launch Wireshark. Okay, so I have Wireshark here, and I'm on my home network, which means I'm using the wireless interface. So this is my wireless interface here, but I'm not ready to start capturing just yet. Again, I need to make sure that I'm prepared here. So here's my lab packet. Okay, you can see I've started to fill it out. I need to fix the date on this real quick. So here's when I'm recording this. Okay, so today's March 15. And I'm going to go down and copy this web address right here. Okay, so I'm going to have this ready to go. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead, start this capture. All right, we're starting. Let me go visit this website real quick. Boom, and then go ahead and stop the capture. Okay, so I've stopped the capture, and again, this is very similar to what we did with the Getting Started lab. So what we're looking for here is our HTTP GET request and OK response. Okay, so here it is right here. Here's my GET request and my OK response. And again, your capture may look different than mine. Okay, so one more time, let's go ahead and do this just to be sure. So again, if something doesn't go right, no problem. We can open up a brand new window. Okay, so one more time, here we go. Here's Firefox, and here's Wireshark. Okay, so I'm just demonstrating this one more time. And let's go ahead and start the capture. Okay, there we go. Let's go visit the website. Boom. And then stop the capture immediately. Okay, and there it is. All right, so here's the HTTP GET request, and there's the OK response, which, by the way, you should have figured out by now what the IP address of the UMass server is. If you recall back when we did the Getting Started lab, you were asked a question about which IP address belonged to what, right? You had the IP address of your device, and you had the IP address of the UMass server. So we can see right here, here's my IP address, 192.168.1.69, and then here's the UMass server, 128.119.245.12. Okay, so this is our capture session. So far, so good, right? What is the packet number and time on your capture? Well, that's no big deal. Okay, you can get that information right here. All right, let's move on through. They're asking you to uncheck the IP box. They basically want you to hide the upper layers here. Now, you're going to find that this lab packet is a bit dated, and honestly, I don't feel that this step is necessary because you're really just analyzing the Ethernet frame. Okay, let me show you here. So you're really just looking at this, right? This Ethernet frame. So let's make sure we're on that GET request. Here's the Ethernet frame, and I'm going to expand it. Okay, this is all you really need right here for the moment. Okay, so we don't have to do that step where we have to go to analyze enabled protocols, because you're not going to see just IP. You're going to see IPv4, IPv6, and so forth. Okay, so what's the 48-bit Ethernet address of your computer? Okay, we can see that in our capture here. We're looking at this frame, and you'll see there's the destination MAC address and the source MAC address. The source MAC address, this is obviously my computer right here. Okay, this is my wireless NIC. And if I really want to convince myself, I can jump right into the command line. Now, in Windows, you can run ipconfig/all. In Linux, I'm running ifconfig. And sure enough, there's the MAC address of my wireless interface. Here it is right here, WLP6S0. That's my wireless NIC. So this is the wireless interface, okay? You see there's the MAC address, and sure enough, we come back to the capture file, and there's the MAC address. So there's our first answer, folks, right? So what's the 48-bit Ethernet address of your computer? You just basically put down the MAC address of your Ethernet or wireless NIC. Now, number two, this is a little bit trickier, okay? Now, I'm on a home network, okay, and I have a certain device in the house that goes by the name Aris. Okay, if you're on a home network, you should have a certain device, right? There's your clue, okay? The MAC address you're looking at belongs to that device. Hint, hint. Okay, this is why they also tell you here the answer is no as far as the being the MAC address of the UMass server. Obviously, it isn't. So here's how to think about it. Okay, you're at your computer and you're typing in the web address, or in this case, you know, if you're like me, you copied and pasted it, and that request went out to the UMass server, and then the OK response with the web page came right back. Now, there's a certain device, right? There's a certain device which takes a look at the data that's coming from your computer and then sends it out to the internet, okay? And then when that OK response comes back in, that same device figures out where that data should go along to, in this case, your computer, okay? Hope you have figured out the hint by now. All right, so that's number two. Now, what's the hexadecimal value for the 2-byte frame type field? Okay, we see it right here, and we know what it corresponds to. Okay, so there's the answer to that. I hope this is helping you out, by the way, and if it does, smash that like button. Okay, so we take a look at the HTTP response message. Okay, so that's HTTP OK. Again, all you have to do is just switch to the OK response frame, and again, we have our Ethernet frame here. You'll see there's the destination. In this case, it's our computer. The source, well, I already gave you the hint to that. You see the 2 bytes right here corresponding to IPv4. Okay, so there are the answers. Okay, you figure out the rest. Now, Arp caching. Okay, when we get to Arp caching. Now, I'm okay with you doing this on Linux or Mac OS besides Windows. So if you have a Linux or a Mac system at home, this is perfectly fine. Just run the command prompt, okay, and then post a screenshot of that. Now, what is the meaning of each column value? Okay, think about all of your other devices on the network. Okay, that should be enough of a hint for you to answer that question. Okay, now in the next part, you're going to clear your Arp cache. Okay, you're going to clear your Arp cache, and then you're going to run Arp -A. Okay, assuming that you're using Windows, and then you go visit that web page again. Okay, so I left you a hint on what to do here. Okay, so if you go to Ethernet Arp Labs, let's take a look real quick. Okay, so before you clear your Arp cache, you want to start your Wireshark capture first, then clear the Arp cache and run Arp -A. Then you're going to access the website, and then finally you stop the capture and then filter by Arp. Okay, so I'm just going to do this real quick just to show you. Okay, so let me go ahead and let's go ahead and start a new capture here. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and run, I'm going to clear the Arp cache real quick. So I'm not going to do Arp -A, or at least the equivalent of it on Linux. I just want to show you what you're looking for. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and start that capture. And then one other note real quick, and I'll get back to this in a moment. You do need to have admin rights. Okay, you do need admin rights. Let me stop the capture real quick. Okay, so let me explain. If you're using the Windows command prompt, okay, you need to start as administrator. So the easiest way to do that is you do a Cortana search, right? You do a Cortana search for the command prompt. You could just type in CMD, that's perfectly fine. And then once you see the command prompt, you should see a list of options, and one of them is to run as administrator, and that will allow you to clear the Arp cache. Now, if you're on a Mac or a Linux or any Unix-like system, you will need to use sudo or elevate to root to do that. Okay, so you need to make sure that you do that. Okay, so we're here, and I should see some ARP messages. Let's go ahead and filter this out. Looks like that didn't happen. No problem. Maybe for some reason I didn't have it captured. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that again real quick. And this might take a couple of tries to do it. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead, stop that capture. Okay, there's the ARP request. Okay, so here's what we're looking for. Okay, you can see right here this same certain device that I've been hinting at you about, and then there's my system right here, my wireless NIC. Who has 192.168.1.69? Okay, that's my IP address. Tell 192.168.1.254. What's that IP address? 192.168.1.254. Again, I'm on a home network here, and it just so happens that my gateway, right, if I wanted to, let's say, do certain things with this device, I would have to go visit 192.168.1.254. Okay, hint, hint, wink, wink. All right, so hopefully that helps you to answer the following questions down here. Okay, so if you have your ARP messages, you don't need to really verify with me. You can see it right here, right? Here are the two ARP messages. Okay, so you should see something like this. Okay, what's the MAC address of your gateway? Well, you know, I just mentioned this is my gateway right here. Okay, so just saying, right? Okay, what are the hexadecimal values for the source and destination addresses in the Ethernet frame? Again, that's just another way of saying MAC addresses. Give the hexadecimal value for the 2-byte Ethernet frame type field. Again, this is similar to what you did before, except now we're looking at ARP here. Okay, now for 24 and beyond, okay, I'll leave it to you to figure that part out. And then, again, number 26, what are the hexadecimal values for the source and destination addresses? For the ARP apply message, you're looking for the MAC addresses again. Anyway, I hope this helps you out. Okay, good luck in completing this lab. If you have any questions, you can ask each other in the Open Collab forum. You can also message me privately in Canvas, but I will trust that you have asked your fellow peers first. Okay, good luck and thanks for watching.